Hello everyone, this is Raptor0719, and this is the start of the Dark Souls Remastered, first playthrough of Dark Souls Remastered. I've played Dark Souls before, to a decent extent. I've done a full playthrough, admittedly as a mage, which gets me a lot of shit, but this will be the first playthrough of the remastered. And I was a bit skeptical at first, but after seeing some decent screenshots and videos, I think I'm pretty excited, especially since I think the biggest drawback will potentially be the lack of mods here, which, again, potentially, we could very well get mods, but the graphics alone, I think, warranted the $20 expenditure on this. So, yeah, let's look through, get our options under control here. I honestly don't remember any of the options from the previous, from Prepare to Die edition. So, I mean, all this looks fine. I turned the music down already. I did do a little bit of testing earlier, just for sound levels and such. The one thing that I do want to change is the rolling, or sorry, the jumping. Yeah, how can I change that? What do I want? Is it L3? That I want? I think so. Okay. Save changes. And I think everything else is okay. This will be primarily a solo playthrough. I don't think we'll be doing any co-op, and we'll probably just be turning human just for kindling and such. Let's start the game. Yeah, so I did a mage playthrough as my first one. I started two other. Turn off this. I think these other things are fine for now. I heard some people are having issues with VSync, but I guess we'll see. That's fine. Yeah, so I started several other playthroughs that I essentially want to do in Remastered instead of doing in Prepare to Die edition. And that's because, again, those were unmodded. They were my second and third playthroughs. The first one, my first playthrough was a full wizard, full int, just blowing crap up. But my second playthrough, which we will, like I said, start here, Cabral, pretty common name for my male warrior archetype thing. And then the other playthrough I started was I think I started as a hunter, and that was going to be a thrusting sword only playthrough, which I actually was super enjoying, and I'll probably end up doing again in Remastered. But let's see. I think I'm trying to remember what I started Cabral as last time. I think I started him as a warrior, which I guess we'll go with. Gifts. Yeah. So this isn't a first playthrough, and I've also watched quite a bit of Dark Souls since then. So I do know what a large majority of things do, and a large majority of the various paths, tricks, monsters, bosses, etc., etc. So here would normally... I'm trying to remember what I grabbed on him. And I guess we'll just go with the master key, right? Just because. I don't remember what I grabbed on Cabral, but we'll just go with the master key. Slim. Face. Kind of a normal looking guy. Whatever that means. So to give you so I've given you my Dark Souls 1 backstory. I've played through Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Yes, I did enjoy it. Yes, it did have problems. I still think it's a fantastic game though, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing through that again. I've done one playthrough of that again as a sorceress. Another full magic playthrough. I tried hexes and wasn't really enjoying those. I'm not going to do too much. Should I do customization? Nah, I don't think I will. I sometimes like to get into customization, but I don't want to. I honestly don't want to. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on that. So, cutscene.
The world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bullets peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Alright. So I'm pretty sure that the cutscenes looked, or that cutscene looked fantastic. So I'm pretty sure that's been upscaled to some. I honestly don't. So I don't know the full list of changes. I obviously know they touched up the graphics. They touched up a lot of the particle effects. They added a bonfire to somewhere near Vamos. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, other than that, I mean, I've seen an okay amount, but not terribly much. Left stick jump, working fantastically. I'm gonna just, give me a sec, I'm gonna adjust some sounds on my end here. These things are pretty loud. That, the cutscene may have been very quiet. In which case, I can just, in the future, I might just turn up the cutscene volume later. Luckily, those are few and far between. So one thing, while I'm here, one thing I found while I was testing was, I'll see if I can do it again. I know this is, yeah. So. I don't know if that was in, I imagine that was definitely in the original, but I guess if you go up on a ladder with 0 stamina and then attempt to slide down, it like registers as if you'd run out of stamina. And so your guy falls off the ladder, which is pretty hilarious. Bonfires look fantastic. So yeah, we're gonna be going for a, I guess, a quality build. Just kind of like a standard melee build instead of the full sorcerer I was on my original playthrough. So I did my first run through as a melee character was with Sword and Shield is basically what I ran through the entire game. And the interesting thing with that was I specifically went out of my way to run with a one-handed sword. Which was kind of cool, but it sort of ended up being a challenge run, and I think I even got as far as 4 kings. Does he always drop a short bow? I don't know. And I think I got as far as 4 kings before, like I got up to 4 kings and then was like, wow, this is this is really hard. Four Kings is really hard, and I actually switched to a Zweihander, I think, just for that boss. Let's talk to Oscar here.
Oh, you. You're no hollow.
Oh,
Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
sure.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family: thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite.
Oh,
Oh, and this.
oh.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Rip Oscar. We're gonna rip. Yep, there it is. We're gonna go down here, unlock this. We already got our thing there. So yeah, I ended up switching to a Zweihander. Just for Four Kings, because Four Kings ended up being super duper hard. And I'm pretty sure that was with a plus 15 longsword. But I did everything up to that using some sort of shield and a longsword. But I think this time we'll probably go straight for a claymore or the Zweihander. And then we'll just approach it from there. The point of this is to be a casual run. I think at some point I'll probably end up doing like more specific runs. But we'll stick kind of casually for now. But yeah, so far, fire, like, I'm not sure if you guys noticed the fire, but the fire on like the various torches, maybe there's one in here. Yeah, so the fire on the various torches looks fantastic. I think that's probably the biggest change with the remaster is the particle effects. So things like the fires in the souls and stuff. Fog walls look great, and I know there were some people, I think even Lobos Jr., if you guys know him, which you probably do. He was saying how he didn't really like the new fog walls. He liked the old ones better, which I could see why. Like, these are more, the old ones were very like obscured, or they seemed obscured, and that was probably because of just the fidelity. Whereas as this is much more detailed, so it sort of looks like a more obvious sort of barrier instead of like just this foggy mist in the door. But we're gonna plunge attack this guy, and I don't know where my music is. I have no idea where my music is. That was unfortunate. That was even more unfortunate. So yeah, I mean, I'll say right now I'm, again, one full playthrough of this game. Even as a sorcerer, I parried Gwyn to death. Just because it was the easiest thing to do. But yeah, hopefully we'll take this take this to the end. I don't know what's up with the music, but I assume that was a bug with the boss. Hopefully. But I guess we'll see going forward. Just gonna run up here and activate the cutscene.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Nice. I think that's all the dialogue for that. Oh, so one thing I that was pointed out to me is right here. So when you land during the cutscene, there's no tree here, right? Like there's no tree directly in front of you. But then as soon as you load in, there's this tree here, which I didn't notice in my first 3 or 4 characters that I made. Kind of funny. Yeah. So I think that's gonna do it for this section, and let's get away from the bonfire thing. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.